Pops, the car market, it is flipping, man. We've got the fastest and slowest selling cars for the month of December in the United States of America. Let's jump right into it, Dad. Dealers cannot sell these 10 cars nationwide. You ready to jump in?
I am, and perhaps they could sell them if they were to discount them heavily, and perhaps we can help with that as well.
Possibly, folks. Or maybe the OEM just needs to step up with more incentives. Top 10 slowest selling cars in the United States. We'll start at number 10, Dad. The Maserati Levante. There is a 288 days supply of Maserati Levantes 2023 or 2024. Depends on the vehicle. We looked it up based on whichever model year. There's more inventory right now. We've got 288 days is what it would take to sell all the Maserati Levantes in the United States based on their current sales rate. A $104,000 vehicle starting off our top 10.
And certainly the one that I'm not going to look for, but if I wanted a sports car SUV type vehicle, it probably still wouldn't be on my list.
Let's run through the next three. We'll get into the top five here in just a second. The Jeep Cherokee, Dad, 301 days supply. The lowest price point on the top 10 slowest selling vehicles. 2,351 of them for sale nationwide. Only 351 have sold in the last 45 days. The Mercedes-Benz SL, $166,000 vehicle there, 319 days supply. The Chrysler 300, another moderately affordable vehicle at $43,000. Over 5,000 of them for sale. 707 have sold recently, a 339 days supply. And rounding out the bottom 6 through 10, the Jaguar F-Type, a 356 day supply, $100,000 sports car there.
Yeah. So the theme in the bottom five are they're very, very expensive vehicles for the most part. 100,000, 166,000, 104,000. So I mean that tells you everything you need to know as to why there's more inventory of those vehicles than just about anything else.
Then you get into the top five, Dad, slowest selling cars in the United States of America for the month of December. These should be the vehicles you get the biggest discounts on, the biggest incentives. And these, we don't have a single 6-digit number here when it comes to these vehicles, almost 6 digits in terms of days supply.
Yes.
Dad, the first one is a Ford product. The other four are Stellantis, Dodge, and Ram. The Ford Mustang Mach-E, Dad, there is a 358 days supply of Ford's Mustang Mach-E, which no longer qualifies for federal tax incentives in 2024, a $57,000 average transaction price, more than 25,000 of them actively for sale at dealers nationwide, yet only 3,200 have sold in the last 45 days.
And considering the fact, Zach, that it will no longer qualify for a federal tax credit come January 1st, there should be extreme motivation on the part of dealers to get rid of these vehicles between now and the 31st of this year. Because once January 1st hits, it's going to become even harder to sell this vehicle. So if ever a dealer needs to discount a vehicle, this is the one they need to discount. There's just way too many of them.
Oversupply, check. End of the year, check. Federal tax incentive going away, check. That is the trifecta of go get yourself a Ford Mustang Mach-E at a bargain price point. It truly is all the factors coming together at once. Dad, we have back to back Dodge products next for number 4, number 3, and number 2. First, the Challenger, a 362 day supply. Then the Charger at a 424 day supply. And then what was supposed to be Dodge's new affordable subcompact vehicle, the Hornet. 517 days supply. Look at these numbers, man.
And if I'm not mistaken, isn't the Hornet built on the Alfa Romeo Stelvio platform? So it is apparently supposed to be the poor man's Alfa Romeo, when in reality, even the poor man wouldn't want to buy an Alfa Romeo. And this at a 517-day supply just proves that.
The numbers are just staggering here, folks.
Yes.
And then the Ram 2500. We're in between model years, 23s and 24s. I've even seen some dealers still selling new 2022s. 784 day supply of those 2500s, a $69,000 average transaction price. I actually am surprised here, Dad. The 24s for the Ram, 2500 do not have a 10% off of MSRP OEM discount. The 23s do. The 22s have nothing.
Yes.
And so it's really the 23s of the Ram 2500 where there's the biggest oversupply, and they're trying their best to discount them.
And the reason at this point that the 24s don't have any incentive is they want to only incentivize the 23s, which are the ones that they have the most of at the moment. And so if somebody comes in and says, hey, I want a deal, then the salesperson can say, so obviously you want the 2023 model year because we can get you a minimum of 10% off.
You want to know what the incentive is on the 2024s right now? Because I'm helping a customer on a Ram 2500 deal right now. What do you think it is? It's a subvented interest rate. What do you think it is?
5.9.
7.9. So they have no interest.
Yeah, they want to push the customer to the 2023. And once the day supply of the 2023 drops significantly enough, then at that point, as the 2024s are building up, at that point they'll add an incentive for the 2024s. But they know what they're doing.
Top 10 fastest selling, least amount of inventory vehicles nationwide for the month of December. These are going to be the vehicles that are most difficult to negotiate, get discounts on. These are also the vehicles you'll still see dealers asking for additional markups on. Do not pay additional dealer markups for vehicles. You can definitely negotiate, find other dealers. Use our Car Dealer Reviews. It's a great resource to help you out with that. Let's run through the top 10 fastest selling vehicles with the least inventory, Dad. The Chevy Trax.
Yes.
31-day supply. Look at the average transaction price here, and that's going to be a theme between these vehicles and the vehicles we are looking at on the other list. A sub $25,000 average transaction price. Only $13,000 for sale, yet $19,000 have sold in the last 45 days. The Ford Maverick with a 31-day supply, and the Toyota Corolla Cross also with a 31-day supply. All these vehicles that had sub $32,000 price point,
which is good to see. These are the vehicles that will be most affordable for the folks out there that are looking for an affordable car. And when I say affordable, in my mind, affordable is $40,000 and below, under $40,000. So the vast majority of these vehicles are going to fall into that category.
Then you've got the BMW X5, a little bit of an anomaly here, although in the group of three that we also have the Range Rover Sport from Land Rover and the GMC Yukon, all of them more than $80,000 SUVs. I'm shocked that one of our GMC dealers in our network is still honoring supplier pricing on Yukons. And I'm like, good on you. Thank you, because there's really no inventory of them. So like these are vehicles that are just not being produced in high enough quantities for it to meet demand. And then we get back into, generally speaking, more affordable vehicles. A Kia, two Toyotas, a Mercedes-Benz has snuck in here as well. Our top four, Dad, the Kia Rio with a 21-day supply and a sub $20,000 average transaction price. So
for people out there who need to be below $20,000 on a brand new car, the Kia Rio, it's not the nicest car in the world. It's not the biggest car in the world, but it's a car. And it'll get you from point A to point B, and it's a car that you can get into for under $20,000. You might not be able to get a really great deal on it, but trust me, there's not a lot of margin built into that car to begin with.
No, absolutely not. Now, for Mercedes dealers who have been complaining to Mercedes, the factory, saying, hey, give us cheaper product that we can sell, the only vehicle on this list from Mercedes is the GLC, their entry-level SUV or compact SUV, $58,000 transaction price, 20-day supply. Then, Dad, the Toyota Sienna and the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid. Look at the Sienna, 20-day supply, $51,500 average transaction price for a minivan. And then the RAV4 Hybrid, a 7-day supply. Only 2,000 for sale nationwide, yet nearly 14,000 have sold in the last 45 days. The most popular vehicle in the United States, by far, it's not even close.
No, absolutely. And those two vehicles are probably going to be the toughest to get some type of deal on. And there are many dealers out there that will still be asking for a market adjustment. You should, in many cases, be able to get them to take that off. If the dealer you're talking to will not, go find the dealer that will, because they are out there.
Couple resources, community forum, CarEdge Dealer Reviews. Please go check the links in the description. And all the data that we looked at today, it's on our blog for free. You can also, of course, use it on the CarEdge car search. We encourage you to do that as well. Pops, thank you for doing this. December is the time to be in the market looking for a vehicle. Use this data to your advantage. We'll bring you the updated data for January when we have it as well.
Terrific. Thank you, Zach.